Hello, and how are you doing today? I am doing fabulous. This is going to be the first of hopefully many installments of the Angel Healing Buttons unboxing moment. Now, what this channel is going to have is me getting new products like I have now, but also I'll be doing my own unboxing of my own items. So as I get them made and I get a fair decent amount in, I'll wrap them up as if we're going to send them out to a customer, you hopefully, and put them in a nice, box and things like that. And then what I'll do is I will unbox them on camera so you can see what I've made so far. Now, I can't promise any regularity of videos due to the fact I go to school and I do a variety of things. So the angel buttons are just one of the aspects that I do. Also, I wanted to mention in this video that I'm not the only one with these buttons. And I don't know if anyone else is taking resin and making buttons out of them, but as far as I know, it is unique to me. I would not be surprised if someone else had the idea and started doing this as well. And that's fine. I am all about sharing because there are billions of people in the world, and, to me, I don't believe that there should be a patent or a restriction on creativity, because how we become creative is building on what someone else does. That's just how it is. It's not stealing anything, all right? It's doing your own thing or doing something that you like that someone else is doing, okay? That being said, I will, stay within the laws and things like that of copyrighted items and stuff. There are things that I order that the people that are selling them to me may not be ethical, okay? And I may not know it. So we're just going to go with that. And there are a lot of things I'm going to show you that I print out and I put on these buttons for myself. And if anyone wanted any, then it would have to be someone coming to me personally one-on-one. I wouldn't do this online or anything like that, like Frozen or Disney or a singer or something like that, whatever. If you came to me and said, hey, you know what, I would really like this and I want this in a button, that would be for you. Send me a picture, take a picture of it because you own the picture, okay? Take a picture of it and then send it to me and I can put it through my photo cropping software and I can make it into a button for you. So that helps with copyright issues and things like that, because if you own the picture, then people really can't say anything, which is what I love. I wish that was that way with everything. For many reasons, people live in fear and they believe there isn't enough wealth to go around. And there is. That's just it. There's plenty of wealth to go around. There are plenty of people that don't know about these buttons I'm about to show you. And I'm going to tell you the history on that right now. So this got started with me looking for charms and glass lockets, okay? Now Origami Owl has made themselves a nice little niche, and that's fine. I actually worked for Beads Galore, which they were customers of Beads Galore before they, before they became famous and things like that. And that's fantastic and everything, but I did see in the news that people were being sued for having a glass locket and saying, well, no, this is our thing, you can't do that, it's patented and things like that. And you can't patent it. What are you going to do? You're going to patent a locket? You can't patent a locket. Lockets have been around for centuries, right? Are you going to patent the glass that goes in it? You can't do that either, because guess what? You have boxes that have a lid, that have hinges or magnetics or whatever, and they're just bigger or smaller. What are you going to patent on that? What are you going to patent on it? You can't. You can't patent anything on it because it's a design that is not unique. It is unique in its proportion of how they use it, but it's not unique in the fact that they're the ones that came up with it. And so, whatever. I actually came up with an idea very similar to that, only I was going to do it completely different, but I had a very limited view on it. I actually submitted my idea to Jewelry Television, and I didn't win the designer contest, which was very unfortunate. But, you know, I didn't have a prototype. I had nothing to use. I was in the military at the time, so I couldn't have really devoted any time to it anyway. But, and then Walmart did something, it did what I wanted. You know, they had glass lockets with these little rhinestones in it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just take this and I'll put some cushion in it and I can put my gemstones in it, which was the whole point of me wanting a locket to put in there so I could, you know, have different stones in there and carry them with me without being damaged, because they're too small to really get to have a setting in anything. It's just too expensive. There's no reason for it. And I found out that Origami Owl got the idea from Hallmark, and I didn't even see what Hallmark had. So you see where this goes? Ideas come from different ways. I actually went to a patent place to try to get my idea patented, or not patented, but manufactured. And I changed my mind on it because it looked like they had some really cheesy stuff. I don't even remember what the company was, but they wanted money to do. They wanted like $200 to do some research and things like that. And I'm like, you know, I saw what they have. It's kind of cheesy, and I don't want my idea to be cheesy. You know, I want it to be classy, very well thought of and well made. I want quality in it. So that's how that guy went. Whether Walmart got the idea from me because someone at JTV went and told Walmart or whatever, who knows? I don't know. Don't care. Someone else could have been having the exact same idea I did at the exact same time, right? Absolutely. So there you go. Now for the buttons. For these buttons, the first time I saw them, I was at Beats Galore, and I was working with this young woman that really wanted to get these buttons in the store, and she said they're called Noosa buttons, N-O-O-S-A, like Noosa Amsterdam and Noosa Australia. And I was like, okay, you know, and she kept on, and then finally one day I said, okay, well, what do these things look like? And so she showed me a site that had some on there, and I wasn't impressed with them. I was like, okay, you know, it's kind of limited. It was very limited and things like that, and I was like, yeah, that looks nice. So I actually asked what Origami Owl was also. I said, oh my God, and I told him the story of what I did. I said, okay. So I was like, you know, I knew about AliExpress and their sister company and everything for manufacturing goods and selling them to consumers. So I went in there and I went looking for lockets, and I was looking for I was buying from a variety of places to see who had the best quality for my money, but the least also non-expensive as well. I found one at this one site, and they didn't have any charms with it, but they had these lockets. One round locket with crystals in it. So okay, so I got that, you know, and I ordered it, and then they had buttons. I'm like, well, let me go see what their buttons look like. And they're not Noosa buttons, okay? But they do have the same concept of it. Whereas the back can be attached to Noosa button items. I couldn't find any Noosa buttons to buy myself at that time. And this was last year, so because I wanted to buy from the actual company, see what they had and things like that, and see what kind of quality they had. But anyway, so they had all these buttons. They had, like, you know, Disney and TV shows and all kinds of stuff, right? They even have college and professional football logos on there. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I went out and I bought a bunch. And I made 2, 3, I think maybe 4 or 5 orders where I ordered all these different buttons. I like about 4 or 5 each, you know. And I'm over here, they had like the bracelets and earrings and necklaces and all kinds of stuff. So I bought a few things, you know, and I sent them out as gifts and things like that, and I was wearing them myself. And someone said, well, did you come up with this idea? I said, no, I didn't come up with it. And they're like, well, you know, you should sell these. And I'm like, well, you know, it's an idea. It's a thought. And then I went to their DIY, do-it-yourself section. And this is where I fell in love with these buttons, okay? And I went on this section, and they had glass cabochons, and I'll show you what those are if you don't know. And they had the button bezel. where you can glue the cabochon onto a photo of that size. They have different sizes. And then you cut that out, and then you glue that into the button bezel. And I was like, wow, oh my God. So I didn't even think about it. I ordered, you know, all these button cabochons, and I ordered all the button bezels, and I had all these other things I was going to put them in, so I ordered more of those, and I ordered a few more buttons, you know, and things like that, and got them in, and I was like, okay, and during this time I'm waiting for my order to come in, right? And so I went online trying to find photos that were this size, because they didn't have any photos. So I was like, okay, I'll go to other places. And I found a few things, you know, and I found one video that wasn't even in English that showed you how to glue the cabochon on, put it in there, you know, all that stuff, using E6000, which is what I use. And then also they had a button press where you could take the button, what I call button attachments, and put them on the different things with a button press, or I call it a button press. It's just a press. And oh my God, it was fabulous. Well, they had one of these presses, but they were like 50 bucks, but you had to charge like $150 for shipping and handling. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I went to another place. This is a whole history thing here, guys. So I went to another place called Cam Snaps, and found that by looking for, you know, button presses again. And in these Cam Snaps, they had the press that I have now, and they also had all the die. So, and it was a screw-in. I said, fabulous. So I went back to the website, ordered more cabochons, ordered more glass, or more of the button bezels, and a few other things like necklaces and things like that to wear these guys on. And I ordered everything that I needed to put buttons on a variety of things. And so eventually I could make my own bracelets, right? So I got all that, and I had the screw-in top, and I was really worried that wasn't going to fit it, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with this. Okay, I'm going to go with my instincts telling me to do this. Came in, screwed in right away, fabulous. Okay, but I had to make a hole for the punches, and they didn't have any punch dies. So instead of getting a punch die where you just, you know, use a handle, I got one of these red handled ones, very popular, and I use a hammer, and I put it down and I hammer it to get the punches in there so it wouldn't mess up my hands, because I'm a massage therapist, licensed massage therapist. So anyway, so I get all that in there, and I eventually want to do something else with it. So I'm like, well, I can't get any photos, so I go to Zazzle. And I go over there, and they have all these lovely stickers. I'm like, great, I'll get these stickers. And I can get, like, you know, a punch and of different, of the size I need for these glass cabochons, right? So I ordered them like 1.5 inches, and oh my God, they're so much bigger than what I needed. I was like, okay, what else can I do? So what I did was, I took a picture of it, right? And I was going to use it to try to reduce it by shrinking it down when I, you know, photocopied or reprinted my own picture to make it smaller. But then I found another site, and it's called Little Windows. Oh my God, fabulous. And she does wonderful things with photographs in resin. It's 2-part resin. And this is, oh my God, the variety of artistic things that I could do just went through my head. Oh my God, it just went, wow, bam, easy day, right? Totally. So I came in and I ordered resin from her. Well, I didn't order resin from her right away. I did order the photo cropping software from her. So I got that, and I left the resin alone. I wanted to see how people did things with resin, so I was going to do that later. But, you know, long story short, I get her photo cropping software. I take the photos I took of these different stickers, of different things. I even took family pictures and things like that. And the photo cropping software was perfect. It had the right size I needed for these cabochons that I use. Got those out, made so many buttons. It was unreal when my things finally came in. And so I decided, you know, okay, I'm going to try to sell these. And I've done private sales. I don't do anything commercially right now, because what I want to do is to do this commercially. I want to show other people how to do this themselves. And I want to get like what's called a little house, a tiny house on wheels. and they're fabulous. I mean, they're just wonderful. And when I do this, I'm going to be able to travel the country and go to these different wellness groups and different, you know, alternative medicines, what people call, you know, the spiritual movement and things like that. But present it as a type, because there's art therapy. So I present this as a type of way to relieve anxiety, to help with focus in the mind, for grounding, for bringing everything into an awareness of the here and now instead of being worried about all this stuff over here. You know, everything just comes together, and it can really help with being able to reduce everything, you know, plus teach people about how to make anchors, which is called neurological language programming, NLP. Now, I'm not NLP certified. I took a class and told me, you know, it was a little beginner class on it, and it was fabulous. As a matter of fact, there is a really famous guy. His last name is Robbins, but he did NLP when it first came. Before he started this whole movement of being an inspirational speaker, he took like the first day. I think it was like first 3 days of like a 3-week class or something like that. Took the first 3 days and said, I don't need any more. I can go do things with this now. And he took it and he ran with it. Well, here's the thing. Neurological language programming it's done to us all the time. When we do things repetitiously, we have a memory of it, okay? And we keep that. When we have a good day, when we have a bad day, whatever is associated with that, we now have what's called an anchor to that moment, you know? And we have an anchor to that moment. It could be a song, could be a photo, could be anything. And it'll instantly bring that memory up to the forefront and things like that. And so that is what I like to do with these buttons. Have people, you know, bring in photographs or send me photographs. I'll print out the pages. We'll have a class. I'll show them how to do this with the glass buttons. The resin would be a 2-day type of class because it takes 12 hours for resin to cure and get hard enough to be able for you to take it without damaging it and getting things really messy. Oh my God, it's messy when you don't do it right. So anyways, that's what I want to do is I want to travel the country and do this. So that is my goal, but I'm starting slow, so we'll see how this goes. So anyway, so that is how I've started. And Noosa buttons are fabulous and everything. It started off with a couple, a guy and a girl. I don't know if they're married, boyfriend, girlfriend, or just friends. I have no idea. It didn't say that. It just said this guy and girl. They came from Noosa, Australia, and they went to go visit Noosa. No, they came from Noosa, Amsterdam, and went to go visit Noosa, Australia. And while they were there, they had this fabulous idea of creating artwork and putting it on a button. And it's metal artwork with glazes and things like that. They do very intricate work. And they hire local people. No, it's from Noosa, Australia, Noosa, Amsterdam. That's right. So people in Noosa, Amsterdam, they'll make these. And they even have YouTube videos on it and stuff like that, which I think is fabulous. And I love that this idea had been taken from, you know, the metal artwork and things like that, and someone over in China or maybe someone else went to a manufacturer and said, hey, could you make these, you know, and had this great idea of doing cabochons to have artwork. And what I would also love to see is artists. You know, you've got Kincaid with his little night lights, and Disney and their night lights, and you've got little posters and backpacks and things like that. And that's great and all, but you know what is really awesome is when you can take something interchangeable and take it in and out and do different things, put a new one. You can have one ring and have an unlimited amount of looks, you know. Let's say you're feeling nostalgic and you're missing your kids. You can wear them in a pendant, you know, or you can wear them on a bracelet. And it just, or even I've even got hair clips for these guys. So yeah, anyway, without further ado, we are now going to get into the first unboxing, but that will be in the next video, which I'll be wearing the same thing. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have 2 videos. So this is my beginner video, and then I'll do the actual unboxing in the second video. Thank you for subscribing. thank you for liking, and I hope you come back for more. And if you lasted this long for the video, thank you for your patience in listening to me talk and get this background. I believe in having an open window policy. You should be able to see it. There are things I keep private, but this should not be one of them. Okay? Thank you, and mahalo, and have a nice day.